I drove field cuts through my neighborhood.
Talk to him now and see if it works.
Can you guys hear me?
Hello. Hello. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yay.
they
So, hi.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to another episode of Fearlessly Authentic. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you guys couldn't hear anything I said to you. I was talking all kinds of shit. You should have been able to hear me. No, I'm only kidding. um, so, what was I saying before? Oh, I missed you guys. Um, I took Sunday off and just had a mental health day. I needed that after Skyla's near hit and run and everything that happened with that. So I took a break and I feel much better now. How is everybody doing? It was absolutely crazy in Connecticut. We had like almost like 90-degree weather today in April. Not normal. Steve, what do you want to say hi now that we're
Oh,
not
hey,
muted?
everybody. How's it going? I didn't see you there. How you doing? Can you hear me? Is it working? Is it plugged in? Hello, McFly. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Bueller. Anybody?
Skyla's doing good. Well, as good as can be expected. Like she's a freaking trooper, man. She's a tough one. She took her her stitches came out today. We took those out and she's still got like a black eye on her right eye. And it's weird because it just looks like she's wearing eyeshadow because it's mostly on the eyelid and the upper part of the eye. There's like a little bit still remaining of the black eye underneath. Um, she's healed amazing. I mean, not only being young, but we use this stuff, arnica gel, and then we also have it in the little blue tube tablets as well. And you take those internally. You just let them dissolve under your tongue. And the arnica really, really is amazing when it comes to like bruising and swelling and all of that. So yeah, and she's I think she's going back to work tomorrow. So she missed last week, but she's trying to go back tomorrow and we'll be driving her to work. No scooter rides yet. She got her glasses replaced, so that's good. Because the other ones were not holding up. They were completely scratched and everything. Oh man, that was quite an ordeal that happened. Hey John, who else we got here? We got Wolf Dude.
Wolf Duder.
And we got Snow Leopard
Salte.
and Angela
John Kemper. I see all you people.
and Jera.
Please share this out to your social mediums, to your social smalls and larges.
As Applejack in the house, I would like to wish the little one happy birthday.
Happy birthday, little Jackson. Little Applejacks.
He's so cute. Oh, and did you see, Applejack? You can do super chats. I got monetized on YouTube.
It's an amazing feat of I never thought would be possible.
I never thought I would get monetized.
YouTube.
Yep. So yeah, we can do super chats now. I don't know what that looks like when a super chat comes through because I've never had one before.
Guy is doing better. Everybody who's asking.
Yeah. Yep. I just went over how Skyla's doing, but yeah, she's doing remarkably well. Really taking care of herself with the arnica and all of that. All right. Oh my gosh. Look at, we got our first super chat. Snowy says first. Oh. Yay, thank you.
That's awesome. It's like, what did they say? What do they take, like 55% of it now or something?
Yeah, I don't even know what the amount is, but you know, it's still, it's cool because, you know, I mean, maybe I'll get some ad revenue or, you know, whatever. Like you have to earn like $100 before they release any of it to you, so I won't be seeing that until we earn $100 and then they do the thing, I guess. But
Angela, she's testing it.
oh.
Thanks, you guys.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Angela, for the super chat. $10. Oh.
It's not a competition, you guys.
The John Kemper came right in and said, "Damn you, Snow." You guys are so funny. I'm gonna save these too so we can show them later too. Oh, there's a super chat section.
What?
Yeah, on StreamYard. I never even knew this because we never had it. So there's an actual, like, I can look at the live chat, I can look at any of the comments that I star. So I don't have to even star the super chats. They come over, they have their own little like sidebar where I can look at just super chats. That's awesome. You guys are awesome.
Oh yeah, that is amazing. Now you must feel like a real YouTuber.
I know. I feel it's different. It's different. You guys are popping my my super chat cherry, you know, right now.
That is racy. That is racy terminology.
Yeah, you're a bad boy. All right. So little, hey, little, I got super chats now. Look at this.
Oh, what's else?
Oh, we just got another one. Look at Steve. It's for you.
It's for you. Steve Wolf Booter.
Well, thank you, Steve Wolf, dude. You're awesome. You guys are so awesome. And then we got Oz Whistles even sent when we got Australian money.
Wait, is that real money? Is that what counts as real money?
I don't know how it translates. That's awesome.
They
Thank
keep
you.
sending us Russian money. I don't know what to do.
Like we haven't even gotten started. We're just opening up and doing, shits and giggles. So this is great.
Yeah, we're almost fucking like getting closer to that $100 mark every minute.
Yeah. That's so cool that they're all on the side too, so I can go back through and like show them, like at end or whatever I want. So little is dropping links that he needs you to save, Steve. I can't get them over here. So, I thought it would be really important to talk about some of these things that are happening. I'm seeing all these like these plants in the United States like blowing up, and what was the number of cows that just died?
Yeah,
It's like 18,000 or something.
Very explosive cows are blowing up.
So, I mean, like all these plants are blowing up, all this plastic is burning, East Palestine, Ohio's happening, the soil's contaminated there. And I'm like, man, what can we do? Like, what is our solution to those things? And like, because not only does it affect us on a global scale, it impacts us even in our own hometowns and in our yards and where we live. And if we're going to garden or, just the soil and around us, like, what do we do about that ourselves as well? And like how that affects and like, like what are, what are we learning about this? What are we going to do about forever chemicals? Right. Because we need some solutions here. So I thought that would be a really awesome thing to cover, because it affects us globally, but it also affects us locally at the same time, because where our food comes from, if it's grown in forever chemicals, it's probably going to have forever chemicals in it.
Yeah.
And,
are good.
huh?
So chances are likely.
Yeah.
I was being facetious. You're like, if you grow food in forever chemicals, chances are it's going to have forever chemicals in it. Like, yeah.
So I know we've kind of touched on this a little bit before about like, what things, do clean up these kind of like messes, and what is we know that the EPA has, their own established guidelines and what they do, but I'm like, what can we do as people? Like, what can we do? Is there anything that we can do that's impactful?
Turns out there is.
Yeah, it turns out that there is like, Mother Nature really has already, she's provided us with what we need. And that's what's really cool is that we don't need chemicals to get rid of the forever chemicals, right? Like that's not what we need. We need to use what we already have, So I found this really awesome information. A tribe in Maine is using hemp to remove forever chemicals from the soil. Can it work for PFAS, contaminated farms? So I thought it was really cool. And this is from February 22nd of 2022. It's in Grist. Grist. So this is the farmers up here on the right hand side. Is this on the screen? I just want to make sure. Yes.
Yeah, they will. Forever chemicals will be part of our evolution, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, like we don't have a choice in that matter anymore. I really don't feel like we do. I think that there's been so much that's just been released. Like they are forever part of things, but there are things we can do to reduce this. So the pair was hardly dressed like typical farmers, but this is no typical farm. Sporting white hazmat suits and respirators. Ooh, and that sounds really great, right? So they lugged the water towards the bushy plots of hemp, 30 by 30-foot patch as a stark sign of order in otherwise overgrown field. It was a warm September day in Limestone, a small town in the edge of Maine, Canada border. And the pair struggled to breathe in the head to toe protective gear. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. It's probably not really super comfortable. Um, for Stanley and Silly Boy, the focus was not so much on the hemp they were growing as it was what it was doing. Their farm, once part of the Loring, is that right? Loring, Loring, Air Force Base, also a Superfund site, an area so polluted it's marked high priority for federal cleanup. Later, when the Aroostook band, the Micahs, Micmacs, uh, took over the site's ownership, they found its soil was rifle with oh my god, I don't even know how to say that. Better known as PFAS, cancer causing compounds. So this is like, that's the bad stuff, the forever chemicals. Um because of their ability to bind to proteins. PFAS tend to bioaccumulate, building up in soil, water, and even human bodies. Under typical environmental conditions, they can persist for hundreds, even thousands of years. Like that's insane, just to think about. Like that it can build up. It doesn't just like, it doesn't go away. It just keeps, they just keep adding and adding and adding to it. And what does that do to our bodies? It causes us to be sick and have cancers. So they can persist for hundreds, even thousands of years. But there's hope. At Loring in 2020, research discovered that the Micmacs hemp plant were successfully sucking PFAS out of the contaminated soil. This practice, known as, oh my god, I remembered how to say this earlier. It's like photoremediation. Being dyslexic, sometimes like there's certain words that I just cannot get. That's all right though. So they could guide the farmers across the country who have shut down after discovering their soil is tainted with with all the forever chemicals. Okay, so I'm like trying to just kind of scan through this one. And there they are up on the farm. That's crazy. Okay, so PFAS were once considered to be human-made miracle compounds due to their oil and water repelling properties. They were long used in all kinds of products, from firefighting foam to stain-resistant carpets and non-stick pans. They've been linked to a host of health problems, including kidney and testicular cancer, liver damage, and suppressed immunity. Jeez. Like, we do this to ourselves. Like, we are, as a human species, we are our own worst enemy. So yeah, there are companies that have voluntarily decided to phase them out, and yeah, most of But there's places where it's just there. It's in the soil. It's in every bit of it. Steve, there you go.
Am I what? Am I going to pay attention to what's happening?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Sure. Good evening. All right. All the cool people are here. Lady Alex is here. Vegan's here. All right, we can be serial about it now. Forever chemicals suck. Things like Teflon and stuff. You know.
Oh yeah, they've ruined entire areas.
And they're saying that leads to fucking Alzheimer's as well. The kind of injuries sustained from those chemicals.
Vegan Little is very excited that you're here. He's been asking about you. I give her messages.
I give him messages.
I do. Hey, Lady Alex.
All the cool kids are here.
Yes. Do you guys see? We got super chats.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a day they said it couldn't be done. They said you guys will never get there. And like, there it is.
I know. I just cannot believe it. And look, here's the top super chat. The first super chat ever. Snow Leopard. You'll always be my first.
Snowy. He's a, what do you call that?
Bad boy.
He's a bad boy. He's a go-getter. He's a rabble-rouser. He's a trendsetter. He's an influencer. That's what he is. And he has a cute kitten.
Yes. Okay. Do you have this cup? Do you have this pulled up?
I'm not looking at it on the computer. Hold on, let me look at it on the computer.
All right.
So many devices in front of me.
All right. So some companies have voluntarily decided to phase out the use of PFAS in their products and packaging. The chemicals are already ambiguous, pervading farms and military sites alike. In states like Maine and New Mexico, where PFAS have been detected in soil, milk, and vegetables, they have been traced to biosolids, byproducts from sewage treatment plants that are sometimes used as fertilizers. In former military bases like Loring, the main source is thought to be firefighting foam. Indeed, part of the land that the Micmac obtained in 2009 was previously used as a firefighting testing area. It's going to be crazy how many people get land and don't realize what's happened on that land, previous to it. If you want to say you go buy land and you want to build a house there and you didn't know there was firefighting testing area there and they use forever chemicals and you build your house right there.
Okay. Where did you stop? Firefighting testing area?
Get rid of that.
Huh?
Yes.
So Loring has undergone years of cleanup since the base closed in 2007. The Environmental Protection Agency deemed it ready for reuse, albeit with limits due to contamination that persists at the site. According to the EPA, the Air Force has confirmed the presence of PFAS in the groundwater, surface water, and soil and promised future study. The tribe sought the land for economic development, but it's unhealthy, Silly Boy said. Silly Boy, really? Okay. It's the latest in what he sees as this Micmac's long history of obtaining poor land. He pointed to reservations on swamps and steep hills, land where no one can garden. When the tribe is given any property for reservation land, it's not prime property, he said. So when Stanley seeking a site to test hemp hemp's ability to pull PFAS out of the ground, approached him about a partnership. He was eager to work together. Protecting the land is part of the Micmac beliefs, he said. Chief Edward Peter Paul of the Aroostook Band, in a report on the project, anything we can do to contribute to making the environment better, we just want to be part of it. In the spring of 2019, the Micmac Nation Upland Grassroots and their research partners began their experiment. They collected data on 3 plots, and the others didn't survive a drought. 2 years later, they reported early signs of success. The hemp lowered PFAS in the soil. Phytoremediation is an attractive option for cleaning land of certain types of contaminants because it is relatively affordable and limits disturbances of soil. In addition to PFAS, plants have been used to leach lead from abandoned mines and pesticides from retired orchards. While people have long used plants to help clean soil and dirt, the term was coined in 1994 by Rutgers University. Is my mic too low? Turn my mic up.
Which one is yours?
It's the first one there.
Turn to the right.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be all the way up, but almost. All right, is this better? Can you hear me now? Let's see. Phytoremediation is an attractive option for cleaning land of certain types of contaminants because it's relatively affordable and limits disturbances to soil. In addition to PFAS, plants have been used to leach lead from abandoned mines and pesticides from retired orchards. While people have long used plants to help clean soil and water, the term was coined in 1994 by Rutgers University biologist Isla Raskin. Raskin's early experiments involved using mustard to extract heavy metal pollutants half a mile from Ukraine's Chernobyl nuclear power plant, which unleashed catastrophic amounts of radioactive material when a reactor melted down in the mid-1980s. Hemp is a good candidate for phytoremediation because it grows fast across much of the United States. Its roots are deep and profuse. The better to uptake pollutants from the soil. Stanley believes their success using hemp to remove persistent contaminants like PFAS holds promise for many other farmers. Before hemp's widespread legalization in 2018, huge companies could excavate or do these very intrusive processes to deal with polluted land, she said. But there was nothing the layperson could really do to clean land. Nassim, the researcher with Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station, agreed the practice has potential, though she was more cautiously optimistic. It's a possibility, but I think we still have a lot to learn, she said. It's still unclear how much of the chemicals hemp can remove. Although the Loring project successfully extracted some PFAS, plenty remained in the soil. Also unclear is how many rounds of hemp planting would it take to return levels to a safe baseline, something that doesn't actually exist yet without national standards from the EPA. The team lacked, yeah, right, the EPA is going to solve it. The EPA lacked good control data to measure their efforts because pretty much everywhere has some amount of PFAS, Nassim said.
So they're like, because we haven't studied it, we can't really say anything yet. Well, that's the whole point of that's why we need studies on these things to know, how long it does take, what is the cycle like,
right. How many times do you have to grow hemp in the area for it to be, back to a baseline amount?
And then how do you dispose of it properly? What is
a baseline
and
amount?
Can you get how it breaks down? Can you continue to have plants or something continue to break it down? You know what I mean? Do we have a final solution? Because you can get it out of the soil into the plant, and then I think that they might go into the process of what they do afterwards, but then the toxicities are in the plant, right? Yeah. So then you still have you can remove that and you can take that and do something else with it, but where does it go from there?
Snork says you can use mung beans and you cut off the roots, and still have to sequester the roots, but it's a pretty good way to remove stuff without a lot of side effects. Yeah. And it was hot as fuck today here, 89 degrees. It's supposed to be hot tomorrow too. It's April 13th. It's Connecticut. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Meat milk. Applejack says, all my prayers to Skyla. Tristan will be asleep soon. Love you guys. Stever, meat milk next. Free citizens from corrupt government.
Absolutely.
Meat milk revolution.
Applejack. There's so many. Like they got you with super chats. Like Snow Leopard got the first one.
They straight.
I thought it was going to be you that would pop my cherry.
You. They had some of the best super chats that have ever happened. Some of the greatest super chats I've ever seen. You're still using your heater. Yeah, see, it's supposed to be already springtime where you are, and it's not supposed to be already springtime, just like cold and rainy and shitty, and it's fucking 90 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, like I went out and I had like a pair of like it's like I don't know if everyone's gonna understand what this fabric is, but it's called seersucker, like kind of like fabric, and it's just like super thin, like kind of like a thin, like kind of like Guatemalan style like pants. And I had this shirt on and I have a tank top underneath, and I was hot. I was like, oh my gosh, I was so hot, and I was wearing just my hemp Keens. Like I wasn't, you know what I mean, like dressed in like anything that normally, and I was like out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is awful.
Make sure you give Tristan some spankings from Uncle Stever.
No, give him love.
A loving spankings. You know, you got to get your spankings. It's your birthday. What? You didn't have that kind of torture growing up?
No.
It's your birthday. I get to beat you.
No,
up.
I got freaking beatings on a regular basis when it like, you know, like that wasn't a cool thing. Like that wasn't like a funny thing. Like spankings were not fun. Oh, spankings hurt.
Salty says a lower magnetic field means more energy entering from the sun, among other things, and it's been destabilizing the jet stream. I think that's quite possible. Also, has anybody else noticed that their psychic ability is growing rapidly? I knew you guys were going to say that. All right. It was a long way to go for a joke. But hey, my comedy is not what I'm known for. Though it should be. Susie Fairfield. Cool and rainy in Southwest Florida. It was like Florida hot.
Yeah.
Here,
yeah.
Susie.
It was, yeah. It's weird. It's not normally this time of year. Like
No,
we barely had a winter, and like I feel like Washington and Oregon and California had it colder, I think.
Yeah.
Than
89 degrees on April 13th in southern New England is not like a normal thing.
Yeah. And it's been a couple of days of it. It's not just like a fluke, like one day. Like it's been a couple of days. Like just I'm like, all right, I'll take it, but I'm still what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna take it if it's freezing cold here, like it normally would be. Like I'm like, we can put stuff in the ground. Can we do that? I'm like, can we put stuff in the ground?
I said, have you noticed your psychic abilities are growing? Lady Alex said, my psychotic ability is growing. And John Kemper knew I was going to ask him. So
of course he did.
It's clear. It's because of the sun, bro. I was watching some weird guy on TikTok, and he said if you stare directly into the sun for 35 minutes every day at 5 p.m., you will go to heaven or whatever. I don't know exactly what he said because I turned it off before he was done talking. Boring. No, but he said something about us being made out of stardust and getting a certain amount of sunlight every day coursing through your bloodstream does something to your chakra, your various chakras, and it helps with the resonation, helps you be resony.
Helps you resonate.
Helps you resonate your resins. And then once you're fully resonating and realizing your resonated resins,
I probably fully agree with what what
into
he's
the
talking
world.
about, but he cannot say. Like it probably
Yeah, it was all, I don't
it
know.
is good for you to have to be
No,
in
the
the
sun
sun.
is good, but he was saying how it literally
It recharges you.
it does, and it's a cellular thing that like regenerates and does something to you on a cellular level that helps you all your systems run more efficiently in your body just by having that sunlight for a certain amount every day. He didn't say look directly into the sun. I made that part up, but I don't see how it could hurt anything. But yeah, no, and it's supposed to like it destroys like cancers and things. Like everybody's afraid of like UV rays and stuff, but some of that is like actually really good. And I don't know anything about the light therapy technologies in place, but I think it has something to do with the pyramids and DMT. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. I'm not a professional, YouTube. Bella la Grise.
Yes, thank you, Lady Alex. Yeah, we and we can also do Walmart to Walmart. It's a direct thing. Venmo is direct.
Yeah, it is
Cash
super
App.
super sweet
Yeah.
of you guys doing super chats
Yeah.
and stuff, but in reality, that's like they're taking half of that money anyway. So it's cool that we can do it,
Yeah.
but fuck these bastards. They're already making all the money.
We are.
They are. They are.
All right.
So let's continue our discussion here
Yeah.
about the grists. Where were we? Assuming Phytor remediation of PFAS breaks out of its experimental phase. Did I say phrase? Phase. It should shine in cost comparisons to other removal techniques, according to David Huff, the environmental consultant. You know, David Huff, the environmental consultant. Everybody knows him. Currently, the standard approach to PFAS cleanup involves excavating the affected soil, and the cost can be astronomical. One estimate for the contaminated soil on a 100-acre dairy farm in Maine, I don't know if the cows are combustible there or not, but it ran upwards of $25 million.
Jesus.
100 acres, 25 mil. Come on.
That's crazy.
You're trying to set my cows on fire.
And then where are they going to take the soil? Like if it's contaminated and you're just removing it, where is it going?
And why do you have a dairy farm on top of your contaminated soil? Using plants, Huff said, can cost 75% less at least. Well, that's pretty good, right? We just whittled that 25 mil right down to about, what, 5, 7? That's not to say plant-based PFAS removal comes cheap exactly. Soil testing can cost anywhere from $250 to $600 per sample. Depends. I know a guy with that lab testing, just send it off to Jersey. It takes 2 days. I make 2 phone calls.
Oh my gosh.
And for any given field, samples and multiple points across the field are needed to measure progress, especially as PFAS levels can vary from spot to spot within the same parcel of land. Huff, who has studied various grasses, and trees' ability to extract PFAS, said plants work best when the contaminant levels are lower and the cleanup area is larger. Around 2 acres or more, by that measure, most farms would be considered large projects. Okay. So 100 acres is ginormous. And size isn't the only limitation. Remediation takes more time compared to the other approaches. Leah Penniman, co-director and manager of the community farm Soulfire Farm in New York State, wrote about using plants like geranium or sunflowers to clean lead-contaminated soil in her book, Farming While Black. It takes at least 1 year and very careful monitoring, so it's not for everyone, she wrote. After the first year, If tests still indicate high lead levels, it may take another round of planting or 2 or 3. Developers might prefer the expensive, quicker route of excavation over a long wait, but faced with steep costs, small farmers may have no choice but a plant-based approach. For farmers hoping to put plants to work, there are other challenges ahead. If the farm soil is polluted, odds are water will be too. And that was the case at Loring, so the EPA doesn't allow the use of the water supply, Stanley said. She and Silly Boy had to truck in water each week for their hemp, which limited how much they could grow. And some states are already addressing these needs. The Maine Department of Environmental Protection, for example, installs filters for farm wells that exceed a certain level of contamination. Future studies will also need to develop guidelines for how people should dispose of PFAS-laden plants once their job is done. Yeah, because what do you do with those plants? You just incinerate them, and then aren't you burning up forever chemicals? You know, how do you fully? Does it just compost? What about letting all those plants compost and then checking those levels?
No, you don't want to. No, I don't think you're supposed to compost the plants.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, how do you? It's like you pull it out of the soil. Okay, great. What do we do with it now? There has to be a way to do something with that too. Paul Stamit's mushroom method is the best.
Yeah, we're going to get into some other ways that they do it. But yeah, this will all of this will be linked. All of these articles and everything we go over will be linked in the notes below, so you can, if you want to like read through and really dig into this deeper, there's at least a starting point.
Yep.
And I put the link for that book. What was it? Farming While Black. I put the link in the YouTube chat in case, it's just a quick search. I just did a quick search, and if anyone wants to look into that book.
Goats? Is that what we do with it, little?
Uh-oh. But what happens with the goats then? Did they get sick?
They just glow and start to levitate and stuff. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
What could go wrong?
So
it's a bad idea. Sorry. He said goat.
So I have another article about the hemp and forever chemicals and getting them out of the ground. So I'm going to pull that up.
Oh, snap. He got stopped for driving while black.
What?
At least he wasn't farming. Applejack.
Oh my God.
Superjack.
I hope we can read the super chats that he puts up, like sometimes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Might just be like, you have to look at your screen and read this yourself.
How goats attack at breaking speed. Oh,
let me add this in here.
Lordy.
Norman. Thank you, Applejack, for the $2 super chat. You're
Thank you.
awesome.
Applejack. Oh, what a pretty little sativa. Look at that. Long, skinny leaves. About 2 weeks, 3 weeks into flower. I love weed.
Yes. So this is from Inverse, and this is by Tara. Yeah, I don't know. Tara or Tara. Yargata. I can't. I would have butchered that.
Tara Yarlagata.
Okay.
Tara Yarlagata. You got to say it like you're drunk. Tara Yarlagata.
Do you want to read this
author.
Since you love this plant? And this is from July 23rd, 2021.
Hemp, a variety of plant cannabis sativa, is often overshadowed by marijuana, a genetically distinct form of cannabis used for food, clothing, fuel, and plastics. Wow, I just got like all Shatner for a second there. It's the seemingly more domestic member of the family. However, new research However, new research suggests we should pay more attention to this non-psychoactive substance. Pshaw. Hemp scientists say has an eco-friendly superpower. It can rid the environment of toxic chemicals. Members of the Mi'kmaq Nation, a tribe indigenous to what's now known as Canada's eastern maritime provinces and parts of the northeastern United States, the activist group Upland Grassroots and research scientists came together in 2019 to test methods for removing and polyfluoroalkyl substances from land located at the Loring Air Force Base after years of lobbying and dispute. Portions of the former bomber base were given back to the Aroostook Band of Mi'kmaqs in 2018. On Tuesday, the eclectic team published a commentary reflecting on their work and progress in the journal Cell Press. The project so far is a success. Results suggest planting small fields of fiber hemp removed a primary type of PFAS at the polluted site. The chemical called perfluoroalkyl acid, PFOS, protecting the land is part of the Mi'kmaq beliefs. Chief E. Peter Paul and Mary of the Mi'kmaq Nation said in the commentary, anything we can do to contribute to making the environment better, we want to be a part of. Hey, I felt like I already read that. I did. So what you need to know, the idea of removing toxic contaminants from the soil by planting certain plants is known as, say it with me, phytoremediation. Phytoremediation. Hemp is very versatile in extracting many different kinds of chemicals from the soil. Shelley Stanley, a member of the Upland Grassroots, states in the commentary, previous research has also demonstrated industrial hemp can be effective in phytoremediation. Hemp phytoremediation has been previously used for other types of soil contaminants. Many metals, Sarah L. Nasson said, one of the lead researchers on the project, tells Inverse Nasson is a scientist affiliated with the Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station.
Look how beautiful that plant is.
So pretty. Pretty. Almost ready. Time for picking. Yes, hemp is a very, very flexible. Hemp, in turn, has been grown in other sites with significant amounts of environmental contamination, such as Chernobyl, Nasson said. Hopefully it's Nasson and not Nason. I don't know. But the little research has been conducted on the ability of hemp to specifically extract PFAS from the soil. PFAS are a group of man-made chemicals with potentially harmful effects on the human body, including increased cancer risk. They can be found in everything from drinking water to cleaning supplies. Fabulous. PFAS are often referred to as forever chemicals for their ability to linger on in the environment and human bodies for years.
So this goes into that same, like this kind of covers that same article.
It just has cool pictures.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I wanted to show.
This is the ganja. We grow the ganja. It takes out the yucky stuff. 800 acres.
Yeah, and then it says plants that take in more water and nutrients also tend to take in larger amounts of contaminants.
Yeah, that stands to reason. And plants with big root structures like cannabis or hemp.
Yeah, and here's look at the overhead view of that.
Yeah, it's a fucking vast fucking space.
That's the Air Force Base in Maine, the one that we were just talking about in the last article too.
It's really close to where we went when we saw the Grateful Dead in what was it, 94? Was Highgate? Highgate is like not that far from there. But it was in Vermont, but that's Maine, so it's like, but it's way up there by Canada. It was Dylan in the Dead.
So, I mean, for me, it seems like it's like, all right, well, we have Like, I'm not showing you guys anything that's like out of the ordinary or that we wouldn't think would be a good, it's not like some crazy out there suggestions
That's crazy town.
to get these things out of the soil. And and here's another one. Plant-based material can get rid of the PFAS. And so I'll link this. This will be down in the description of the show. So if you want to check into this further, as always, I like to, give you guys some of the tools and let you know where I, kind of where I've kind of looked and found information. So that will be, and this is on the NIH site. So they're talking about it. They know that they can. But why is it that this isn't something that's happening everywhere? It's pretty crazy to me.
Because they're a bunch of stinky little monsters. Don't know how much. Don't want to invest the money fixing up places that are poison. Absolutely good. What the hell is this? What the hell is that?
All right, we have another little mediation here.
It's the kitchen sink. Don't panic.
What's the kitchen sink?
Yipper's like, Steve, close the bathroom door.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're in the kitchen. Bathroom's upstairs. It's a weird setup in this apartment.
Don't panic. I wasn't peeing.
Yeah, no, that was the kitchen sink. Oh my god.
Okay, you have to make that bigger if you want me to read it.
How do I make it bigger?
You go with your fingers.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Fingers.
So this is on nature.com. And can I move it over? Or is it gonna
Nature.com. Natural. See, I just wrote a jingle for nature.com.
All right.
Phytoremediation by Sigador Gracebone. Contaminants derived from anthropologic activities can adversely affect wildlife and impact human health. See Figure 1. Even low levels of contaminants in the environment pose a risk due to potential accumulation at higher trophic levels. A process called biomagnification. Organic contaminants are usually xenobiotic to plants, but inorganic contaminants such as metals are commonly found in low concentrations in the soil. Metals such as cobalt, copper, iron, molybdenum, manganese, and zinc are critical for plant growth and are classified as essential micronutrients. Other metals that are commonly found as contaminants and are non-essential for plants include arsenic, cadmium, chromium, mercury, nickel, lead, selenium, uranium, vanadium, wolfram. Is that where Steve Wolf gets his name? Wolfram? Metals can have a toxic effects on plant even at low concentrations. See Figure 2. Metal uptake by plants generally takes place by specific transporters, channel proteins, or H+ coupled carrier proteins located on the cell membrane of the root. For example, the Fe regulated transporter IRTI allows the uptake of Fe. Uptake of other metals also occurs via IRT1 transporters. especially if low concentrations of Fe exist in the soil. Inadvertent uptake of non-essential metals also takes place via other cell membrane transporters. For example, uptake as ASO3 occurs inadvertently via phosphorus transporters. Organic molecules enter plant roots via simple diffusion. Phytoremediation basically refers to the use of plants and associated soil microbes to reduce the concentration or toxic effects of contaminants in the environment. Phytoremediation is widely accepted as a cost-effective environmental restoration technology. Phytoremediation is an alternative to engineering procedures that are usually more destructive to the soil. Phytoremediation of contaminated sites should ideally not exceed 1 decade to reach acceptable levels of contaminants in the environment. Phytoremediation is, however, limited to the root zone of plants. Also, this technology has limited application where the concentrations of the contaminants are toxic to plants. Phytoremediation technologies are available for various environments and types of contaminants. These involve different processes, such as in situ stabilization, or degradation and removal, i.e., volatilization or extraction of contaminants. See Figure 3A, Table 1. It's fun reading textbooks. Phytoremediation
So, yeah, I was
is
just
a lot of fun.
I just wanted to
Everybody should try
to
it.
kind of show a little bit. I know this is a little bit like in depth about it, but
You think? That was great.
I wanted to make sure this was in the notes so that people could look into it further depending on where they wanted to take this information. You know. So whatever. I'm a nerd. I like the
I smell the
freaking
blood of an Englishman.
Listen.
If you want to do some phytoremediation, try Jack's Beanstalk.
There might be, somebody that wants to look into this and wants to know more the actual like scientific,
like people that can actually pronounce the words. Sure, I could see that.
I enjoyed reading it. I didn't realize they said it so many times, like in there. Like, when you're reading it, you don't realize how many times they're saying that word. And it just becomes funny because you said it so many times.
At least there are pictures, exactly. Videos. That's fucking funny. A phytoremediation. What is some of this phytoremediation over here? Somebody asks you what you're doing later, just be like, oh, they'll fight over remediation. Don't worry about it. A little soil contamination problem I'm trying to work out.
So, I mean, like this, they use things after the disaster of like Chernobyl, in the 80s when the reactor went off at the nuclear power plant.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like they've been using hemp there. They used sunflowers there.
Mm-hmm. They used mycelium.
Yep.
There. Yeah.
And they used all this stuff to help clean up the soil. But the only thing is that like what happened? Like I want to know how I wish there was more studies and we were doing these techniques more. Like this is what we should be focusing on. Okay, well, we have an issue. We get if we have an incident where we contaminate the soil, then we should be like, okay, we know what we have to do now. We're going to plant a bunch of hemp and this is our process and we're going to do this right and we're going to get everything fixed.
What the fuck? Bella said, one of my friends and her neighbor died 2 weeks apart. Now Northrop Grumman is dumping the same toxins 1 mile from our drinking water reservation. He says, my municipal water has benzene, radium, 1,4-dioxane, and carbon tetrachloride and many toxins, all from gunman aerospace. They call it the plume.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he's like, it cost $8 for the water bill and $25 on the bill to clean up the military industrial pollutants out of the water. Like, we would sell you this water for $8, but we got to do this other thing to it. Now it's $25 more because of their bullshit. Lovely. Gray Walker.
Yeah, no, I know there's no profit in it. I know.
Yep.
I know.
That's right. Little. That is accurate. If I did have a peg leg, I would make sure there was a bong attached to it some way so that I could smoke without standing on it. Hollow it out. You can fit a lot of weed in a leg.
I think a lot of people don't want to know what's in their water.
No, most people are blissfully unaware.
They just are like, if it comes out clear, then it's fine. But that's why we covered, we had snorkel and we talked about the water and how toxic the water was throughout the United States. And we did a full, I don't remember, it was like a 3-hour stream on just our water. And it was incredible to learn that there's contaminated water and it's clear, because most people think about like, oh, I have lead in my water, it means I have brown colored water like running out of my faucet, because that's what's always played on the news and everywhere else. That propaganda is always the same. Even big shows like Status Quo covered it that way, and they always show the brown water, but it's clear. And I just think that blows my mind, because I think it really gaslights people into thinking that their water is fine because it's not brown.
I'm still a gangster. Applejack said,
"Oh, we got a super chat."
If I had a peg leg, I would be a gangster. That would be gangster.
Oh my god!
And I said, "No way, man! I'm still gangster."
You should come say hi.
No.
Say hi to the people.
You don't have to like put your whole face on or whatever. Just put your other half of your face on. Just say hi.
Put your eye without the eyeliner on.
That's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, Steve, she's kind of backwards. You can't really see it.
I don't want to show my face.
Well, just come and say hi on the mic.
Just say hi, Skylar. People love you. Miguel.
Yeah. Hey guys, Skyla's here.
I don't exist.
You have to talk into that mic over there.
It's way over here.
I don't exist. Okay.
So you have to say thank you to the people.
No.
Yes, because they were so nice.
Yes.
Thank you, people. I don't know if you can hear me. Tell them in case they can't hear me.
They probably can't hear you. But she says thank you very much, everybody. All you kind folks. You know who you are. And we know who you are.
People in the chat want stuff that I will.
Applejack says he hearts you.
Applejack want cookies.
He's just after cookies.
Skyla's in the kitchen now making a bunch of noise.
Yeah, that's what I do best. You guys want food?
Yeah.
Chicken tater tots.
Okay. Skylar's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Why does she sound southern?
Because it sounds like a Taj Mahal song or something. Skylar's in the kitchen. To fixing up potato tots. Skylar's in the kitchen. Fixing up potato tots. You know what I'm saying?
Little said absolutely no torch lighters when smoking out of the peg leg. Okay.
That could be dangerous.
We had there was
Who's
a
got my peg leg?
there was a guy in
Imagine
high
passing that
school
around
and
the
his
room.
name was Peg Leg. That was his nickname. He didn't really have a peg leg, but we called him Peg Leg.
We called him peg leg, and he knew why. Let's not get it.
That's what everybody called him. Like that's how he introduced himself as. Like like sometimes people embrace
Maybe
a
he was-
nickname.
Yeah, maybe he was just into it. He was just
Yeah,
"Hey,
like that's how he
I'll just tell
introduced
everybody
himself.
I like
Like
to
what
get
was
pegged
what
and
was I
see what
gonna do?
happens."
Say no, I don't want to call you that. It's offensive. Like that's your okay. You want me to call you that? That's what I call you. I respect
He was just
that.
like, I just feel like I need to tell everybody I like to get pegged, so I'm going to tell you right off the bat and see how it goes.
No, I don't know. It
No?
was Peg Leg. It was
Oh,
Peg
peg leg.
Leg. Like
All right. I just see I had an entirely different interpretation of what you said. Perspective is everything.
Would you like one of these? Like you don't.
Oh, yeah. Certainly.
Applejack says, Skyla, I heart you, homie.
If you want cookies,
Does he want cookies?
I want to make him chocolate crinkles.
Them last cookies
She
you
wants
made
to
were
make
really
you
good. I
uh
liked them.
chocolate crinkles.
I was a fan of the.
They're-
Is that the kind?
I'll come over and explain in a second.
That's
She's
not the
even
kind that
gonna
we did
come
last
and
time?
tell you what they are.
It is, yeah, because those were good. Got us in the kitchen fish and tater tots. Got us in the fish and tater tots. Got us in the kitchen fish and
And
tater tots.
buffalo wings. Made out of tofu.
And tofu buffalo wings. That was the end of the
Also
verse.
not- They're like, how is it vegetarian if it's buffalo? No.
Well, it's not made out.
Oh
of
my
real
gosh,
buffalo.
people were confused that buffalo is a flavor, a seasoning. It's not
It's
a
not actually
actual
meat.
buffalo.
We're not really using
This is retracted.
buffalo meat. Yeah, Norman retracts things. He says funny things and then they go away.
I love that.
Yeah, if you don't see it like in
You don't see it,
time,
that's your problem.
it goes away. But I have the ability over here. You know who loved tater tots?
No.
Who?
Who loves tater tots?
What?
Who loved tater tots?
Eric Cartman? I don't know.
I don't know.
Peaches.
Peaches. Oh yeah, Peaches did love tater tots.
Peaches went crazy. If we ate tater
He
tots,
loved tater tots.
he needed his own tater tot.
Buffalo chickens don't have wings. What? No, buffaloes don't have wings. Okay.
Let me tell Applejack what his cookies are.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
Applejack
tell him.
Skyla is here to tell you about the cookies.
The cookies, if you choose to accept them.
Go ahead, you-
So they're made with real baking chocolate, unsweetened. They're called chocolate crinkles, and they're like a brownie texture. Like they basically taste like a brownie, feel like a brownie, but they're in cookie form. And then you dip them in powdered sugar, and it's delightful. There you go.
They're really good.
And they're soft and chewy.
So good.
Tell them they're soft and chewy.
They are soft and or chewy.
I'm like,
He said I'm here to tell Skyla I rocked those last cookies.
She rocked those last cookies.
Oh. Wait till he finds these ones. I think these ones are better.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, these ones are like really good.
Definitely. I just throw out some breadcrumbs and all the buffaloes flutter down from the trees. That's what I said. Imagine that if buffaloes had like little tiny wings and they were just like big giant buffaloes, but they could fly. And they just had little wings.
John, I want some
Some
sunshine feathers.
Strawberry. It has a smell. No, it does have like a little bit of a taste, but very, very faint. It's more of a smell than a fucking taste.
Okay.
That's weird. What kind of water was that?
Strawberry blackberry.
Strawberry, blackberry, water. What kind of water?
You really gonna show?
Is it real water?
Yeah, it's fun.
Smart water. Make you smart water. I've been drinking it for years. I still ain't passed the fucking bar exam. What?
Okay, so back to what we were talking about.
What, you don't like my imagined lawyer scenario? I'm drinking water,
Well, I'm
smart
just
water. My premise was no good for you. Okay, fine.
well, no, I'm just we're just in the like we're doing a show here. So
Oh right.
yeah.
Shoot.
So the EPA proposes designating certain PFAS chemicals as hazardous substances under Superfund to protect people's health.
Designating PFOA and PFOS under CERLCLLLLA would improve transparency, accountability, and deliver on Administrator Reagan's PFAS strategic roadmap. August 26, 2022. Contact information, EPA Press Office, Washington. Following through on Biden-Harris administration's commitment to tackle environmental injustice and improve public health, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, is taking a significant action under Administrator Reagan's PFAS strategic roadmap to protect people and communities from the health risks posed by certain PFAS. There are too many goddamn consonants in this. Also known as forever chemicals. EPA is proposing to designate two of the most widely used per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS, as hazardous substances under the Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation and Liability Act, CERSLA. And also as a superfund. This rulemaking would increase transparency around releases of these harmful chemicals and help to hold polluters accountable for cleaning up their contamination. The proposal applies to perfluoroalkylic acid and perfluoroalkylic acid, and including their salts and structural isomers, and is based on significant evidence that the PFOA and PFOS may present a substantial danger to human health or welfare of the environment. PFOA and PFOS can accumulate and persist in the human body for long periods of time, and evidence from laboratory, animal, and human epidemiology studies indicates that exposure to PFO and PFOS may lead to cancer, reproductive, developmental, cardiovascular, liver, and immunological effects. Definitely effects. Communities have suffered far too long from exposure to these forever chemicals. The action announced today will improve transparency and advance EPA's aggressive efforts to confront this pollution. As outlined in the agency's PFAS strategic roadmap, said EPA Administrator Michael S. Reagan. Under this proposed rule, the EPA will both help protect communities from PFAS pollution and seek to hold polluters accountable for their actions. Many known and potential sources of PFAS contamination are near communities already overburdened with pollution, and if finalized, the rulemaking would trigger reporting of PFOA and PFOS releases, providing the agency with improved data and the option to require cleanups and recover cleanup costs to protect public health and encourage better waste management.
So this is like the bureaucratic, the bullshit.
Yeah.
This is why we don't have something in place, is because it's like, okay, now, like, in order to actually get anything done, it's never logical.
You got to jump through the EPA hoops and the things.
And who's funding who, and who's getting the money, and who does this affect, and is there any profit in this? It's always.
Yeah.
So as we point out, that of course they study the things and they do the things. There's just always the bureaucratic bullshit
obscuring the transparency that you're hoping to see in these things. Like this should be a no-brainer. Like, so you're telling me if we plan a bunch of fucking stuff it cleans up the fucking poison, and then if it doesn't, we just plant some more stuff, and then it'll clean up the okay, why don't we just do that? Because growing things is a good idea.
Yeah, and what other benefits does it help? Right? While those plants are growing, right? They're not just cleaning the soil. They're doing a whole, like, it's a whole ecosystem that's affected. A
Yeah.
whole ecosystem.
Did Josh Davis just say he's signing up for Interpol? He wants to. What is happening right now?
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. He said, I've decided to join MGTOW. So I don't know what that means. He wants to know where to send his application.
What?
I don't think we're equipped to handle that sort of request.
I don't even know. I'm like way far behind.
Hoorah! Or something. I don't know. I think he wants to be a ninja.
What's going on, Josh Davis?
Because
you came in and you distracted Steve to hell. He just like went off the wall like Josh Davis.
I've seen Josh Davis working out in a gi, okay? I think he's a ninja. Don't tell him I said
he's a ninja and he wears Crocs, and so does Skyla.
that's what I'm saying. Don't spread it around.
She has tie-dye ones. What are you joining, Josh? I don't know what's happening.
I think he wants to join the secret Burtonian police force. The Burtonian elite. I remember back when I joined the Burtonians. There was only 7 of us. We took the entire country by ourselves.
Josh, we got super chats.
Freaking super chatted. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, they said it couldn't be done.
I know. I did not think that would happen.
No.
I really didn't.
It seemed pretty far away. And today I had a milestone day. I won a Matrix bar. That's right. You heard it. I won a fucking Matrix bar. Woo!
Magic mushrooms.
Talking about the magic of mycology and what's that word again? Phytoremediations. Yeah, I'm gonna do some phytoremediation on my brain. I think grow some hemp up there or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so I won a fucking Matrix bar, and I broke the 400 curse on my YouTube subscribers.
Yes, if you guys aren't subscribed to Steve,
please subscribe.
Please
to Steve,
give him a subscription.
because I'm just teetering. I know I'm going to wake up tomorrow and somebody's going to be like, "Fuck that guy," and I'll be back at $3.99 again for another 6 months. It's just the way it goes when you live on the edge. When you shoot from the hip. You
All right.
babble about phytoremediation.
What? Who's lying? What?
I remember back when Lucky got Stever's phone infected with an imaginary virus that got it swallow battery syndrome. That's the old school. That's the old school memories, little.
Little remembers like
It's a
this
fucking
is
steel
stuff.
trap memory.
Go start.
Go start. Bro, I don't want to warm you, but one of your hands is blue and purple. All right. Just saying.
So, like, this is the kind of thing that the EPA is telling us. Like they're like, we could do it, but we're just not really gonna put all that effort into it.
Yeah.
Everything gets stuck behind like the same thing. It's
like, we love the idea. It's a fantastic idea, but we're going to have to run it by the EPA first. Oh, sorry. There's no studies to support it. No.
And, if
Sorry.
you've watched any of the East Palestine, Ohio train derailment coverage, then, you might have seen the episode where I showed that CTEH, the company that was testing at East Palestine, Ohio, was corrupt, and they have a long record of it, and they're in the courts, and the cats were in the kitchen. So the cat's knocking something over.
Yeah, a cat likes to knock stuff over.
He's knocking over the watering can.
Yeah, he's a rat.
Yeah. So, these companies are corrupt. It's the same company that responds to like every disaster. And so, like you follow that money and then you see, oh, and that company, also their parent company is in California and is the one that was responsible for coming up with what? Oh, DDT. Yeah. So it's all tied and all connected. And okay, the cat's trying to get into the soil, Steve.
Okay. Cat. You can't get any soil.
So it's really hard to believe that, anything is going to come out of the EPA to help us.
Yes.
What are you doing, Steve?
No. I was just checking out what the cat was doing. Yeah, well, it's not food. You can't go in there.
So I wanted to talk about like, those aspects of it, like what's happening on larger scales at like old Air Force bases or bigger farms, and what's happening, what the Biden response, and what are we kind of getting on a larger scale. But I also wanted to talk about our own backyards and what could we do ourselves in our own backyards.
What can we do? What can we do?
Well, there's a lot of things that will help you, clean the soil.
That's right. Whoa, hello.
Well, Steve,
can hear you
why
echoing.
am I like looping?
Because I heard you.
So this is a Farmer's Almanac. And this is from January 27th of 2021. And it says, sunflowers to the rescue. Did you know this bright, cheerful flower can make lead contaminated soil safe for gardening? Learn more. And I've done that for years. I've planted sunflowers year after year in the garden that I had here, and kept putting organic, all like the things that you would compost. I put them all in the garden, the front and the back area that we have in the apartment. And I've been doing it for a long time. It's crazy what grows in the area where I've been doing that compared to like just the rest of where, like just the area in the neighborhood and stuff. Like the soil is completely different.
It's ridiculously nice.
What we have is a really, really nice patch because I've tended to it and I've made it that, I've made it a safe haven for worms, and planted sunflowers every year and put all my, kitchen scraps out there, coffee grounds, all of that.
Sustained strawberry plants all winter.
Yeah, we have strawberry plants that are still green because they never completely died back because we really didn't have much of a winter. It's so weird. Usually they come back as perennials, but I mean, like, they just didn't really like ever die back. It's crazy. So keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadow is what sunflowers do. Helen Keller. So Helen Keller knew enough about the wisdom of the bright and beautiful plant to share it with others. While she understood and celebrated the sunflower's ability to follow the movement of the sun, she could not have known of the power to cleanse the earth. Thanks to the wonders of science, we do now, and it's a beautiful and useful wisdom. So the sunflower, meaning sun, it's a powerful plant in the world, in industry and art. So the article goes on to talk about how people would be able to recognize it. Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh, there's sunflowers that we've grown here that have gotten almost all the way up to the second story window.
They
Like they've
definitely got to the second story. They were like fucking 14 feet.
it's just crazy. And I always grow these big old big sunflowers. So the sunflowers are able to like pull the contaminants out of the soil, and it soaks up into the stalk of the sunflower, and they will completely clean out your soil. You don't want to eat it, obviously, and you don't want to compost it into your garden. What is happening? Why are the cats fighting?
Because they're cats.
Oh my god, she's got tufts of fur.
Oh yeah, she fucked him up.
What is happening? It's her
Oh,
fur.
it's for her? Oh boy.
Oh my god, the cats just got into it.
Okay. Fuzzy. Very fuzzy people.
So okay, so sorry, totally distracted by that. Back to the sunflowers. So like, this is something that we can do ourselves for the most part. We can plant sunflowers, but we need to dispose of them in a proper way, right? Because if they're pulling contaminants up out of the soil, you don't want to just compost it back into the same soil. We have to have a way for them to be further broken down or treated as toxic, as toxic waste. So we have to figure that part out. We have to make sure that we, are doing the best practice that we can. But think about what that could do to clean up areas that we don't even know if they're damaged, or if we haven't tested the soil. We can improve these spaces now by doing things like planting sunflowers, and they don't take a lot of like space. Like their root ball and everything is pretty, it's pretty dense. But
Baba Yaga said, "My dog is looking for the cats fighting."
oh no.
It's like, where are they? I know they're nearby.
Yes, exactly. Snork. Yes. Yeah, you don't want to eat these plants. These aren't the plants that you're gonna you're gonna harvest at the end. That you have to treat them, in the same way that you would,
Snork says also cats cannot walk between sunflowers. We'll send pictures of sunflowers and cats to Stever. Okay. We will conduct an investigation into that theory. All right, where are we here?
Wow. Vegan says there's a bunch of people that don't believe that Helen Keller even existed.
That's trippy.
Yeah, I never ran into that one either.
Very strange. Fuck the Empire. We love you, Lady Alex. Sleep well. That is trippy. Am I supposed to be reading something? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, you can if you want.
The sunflower is one of many plants that are now known to aid in phytoremediation.
Just in time.
Phytoremediation, a process that employs various types of plants to remove, transfer, stabilize, and or destroy contaminants in our soil, water, and air. Compared to other cleanup methods, such as soil excavation and pumping polluted groundwater by phytoremediation, we have several become clean, cost-effective, and environmentally friendly way to claim and reclaim and reuse land that has been tainted by poisonous chemicals and heavy metals. It is important to note we didn't just plant sunflowers. We also amended our soil with compost and manure, which not only helped the sunflowers grow big and strong, but also aided in the process of, come on, phytoremediation and lead abatement. Lead abatement will be on the quiz Friday. We are also fortunate to have started with relatively low levels of lead in our soil and lots in our Zeppelin. Also, almost as important as planting the sunflowers, though, was that what we did afterward. After the sunflower season ended, we did not permit our sunflowers to decompose in our garden space or put them in the compost, as that would only have returned the contaminants into newly cleansed land. Instead, we took them to the dump, and though levels of lead concentrated in the stems, leaves, and flower heads would have been relatively low, we labeled them as hazardous material just to be safe. Sunflowers are not only able to absorb lead, but other dangerous heavy metals such as arsenic, zinc, chromium, copper, manganese. And probably the most astounding example of phytoremediation was the use of a type of sunflower to be cleaned up contaminated soil in Ukraine following the Chernobyl disaster.
Mhm.
Sunflower to the rescue. Sunflowers have an amazing capacity to not only transform the health of a space in your community, but also add beauty. That is true. That's a true story.
I mean, who doesn't want more sunflowers?
If you're looking to clean up your soil or just want to enjoy the beauty of these flowers in your garden, here are some great varieties to try. And here's several different ones. Soraya, a nice bright orange sunflower that grows about 6 feet with a single stem. A ring of fire. Russian mammoth, a beautiful yellow flower that can grow to be 8 feet tall. A velvet queen, red and orange with burgundy undertones that grows to average of 5 feet.
I've grown those ones before.
I'm not sure which ones we grew last year, but they were tall.
They were probably I think that I had some mammoth ones out there.
They were definitely over 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
They were like, 12 feet, no lie. At
Yeah.
least 12 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so, I mean, why not? Why aren't we planting sunflowers everywhere? Why is that like not a thing? I don't get it. They're beautiful.
No profit.
I know.
No profit in it. Everybody be eating seeds. It'd be like everybody's at the baseball game, got a cheek full of sunflower seeds, spitting them out. It's just disgusting. Can't have all that.
And since we were talking about sunflowers and then Chernobyl, I wanted to show.
Norman Keena said, my hollyhocks eat your sunflower. And you can sell the seeds to 7-Eleven. Exactly. You just save your bags that you buy at 7-Eleven and you fill them back up.
What?
No, that's not how you do it. You need a bag guy. If heavy metals were bad, they wouldn't put them in vaccines. That's true, Salty. Some of this information is confusing. You want to clean up your Chernobyl. Hey, what is that? A Chernobyl over there? You're gonna leave that there? Let's clean it up. Get some sunflowers down here. I'll make a call. We'll get some sunflowers. We'll let them grow.
So this is the Athens Science Observer.
And they'll remove all the stuff that makes Homer glow.
Cleaning up Chernobyl with sunflowers. So they used, they used the sunflowers. And what happened?
Yeah, that's the thing that we were talking about earlier too, Gray Walkers. Like growing the sunflowers is just the first step. The plant material needs to be processed to remove the lead from it. And yes, and I don't know how you do that. You got to process all that material, or can it just be in a place if the levels are low enough? I don't know how that works exactly. Remember, I was just talking about that. What do you do with that refuse? You grow, nine giant fields of ganja and sunflowers, and you clean up the toxicity in the soil. But what do you do with all that vegetative Plant
Okay.
matter.
Well, that's what we're getting at.
Okay.
You know,
I would think the cool thing would be to feed all that vegetation to a mycorrhizome of some sort, some kind of
well, look right here. I'm trying to show you
Okay.
the next part of it. You're asking the questions, and
All
I'm
right.
trying to answer them before.
well,
Do you see that? How am I?
it's kind of small for me. I can't really see it. It's like you have to make it at least twice as big as it is for me to be able to see it. Okay.
Oh,
And hemp does everything. That's true.
that's too big.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. That's perfect actually.
No, I can't.
But you can't fit it all on the page. A little bit smaller. Tiny bit.
Oh, it's not working.
Oh, you're doing great. I see it getting smaller and bigger and smaller. Like right here, I can read this. If you bump it down, like maybe one up. I don't know where you're at now, but I think that's probably okay. Okay. Accidents like the one at Chernobyl leave a pretty big mess. And though humanity is often very irresponsible when it comes to taking care of the planet, the weight on our collective conscience after a mishandling of nuclear power like this inspires action. So how do you clean up after a nuclear incident? Why you plant sunflowers, of course. Okay, full disclosure, planting sunflowers will not subtly solve all your nuclear nightmares. But the flowers do something pretty cool to help clean up the environment. The common sunflower is a hyper accumulator of dangerous heavy metals. And like many other hyper accumulating plants, sunflowers extract metal compounds from deep in the soil and transport them into the stem, leaves, and flower head in a process called, say it with me, everyone, phytoremediation. Hyper-accumulating phytoremediation. Plants are used to clean up environmental contamination. Phytoremediation. Hyper-accumulation.
Oh my
Well,
God.
it just happens that sunflowers are particularly adept at extracting radioactive metals like cesium-137 and strontium-90. Those sound familiar, huh? Found at Chernobyl. After the Chernobyl disaster, fields of sunflowers are planted to harvest these radioactive metals from the ground. And when the sunflowers were all grown up, they were harvested and safely disposed of through pyrolysis. Pyrolysis? Pyrolysis.
I don't know where you are.
Pyrolysis. The process.
Pyrex?
But I don't pyrolysis. Whose rolysis? Pyrolysis. The process burns off all of the organic carbon in the plant while leaving the radioactive metals behind. These metals are then vitrified into Pyrex glass and stored in shielded container underground.
Wait.
Okay.
So then they take the plants and they do what?
So they take the plants, they pull out all the fucking bad stuff, the radiation and the things, and they put it into this Pyrex glass, and then they put it back under the ground. Is this a gag? What's going on here? Thankfully, there's not a nuclear disaster every week that needs cleaning up, because where would we put the stuff, right? The sunflowers are more than just good at cleaning up radioactive metals. Sunflowers are also hyper accumulators of some of the most common metal pollutants on our planet, such as cadmium, nickel, zinc, and lead. Sunflowers, along with Indian mustard, another hyper accumulator, were used to clean up soils contaminated with these metals near Chrysler Automotive Production Facility in Detroit. The use of hyper-accumulating plants for this project, which was massive in scale, cut the cost of cleaning the soils by more than half when compared to more conventional methods.
Wow.
So it's cheaper That is a little like disheartening to hear, though. They're like, we'll take it out. We got it out. What do you want to do with it? Well, let's put it back under there.
I know. What do they do with
What?
it then? They just encapsulate it.
It's like he's frozen in carbonite, like Superman, like Han Solo. In the
But
Star
then
Wars.
what happens? You know what I mean? Like, what happens over time to that? Like, it just feels like you're like, oh, we're just gonna bury this time bomb.
I don't know.
We'll deal with it if we have to deal with it. What?
Yes, that's what I mean, Oz. They burned it. They burned it, and then they took all the stuff that was bad.
But what does burning it do?
It just leaves it so that it's the only thing that remains is the bad stuff. And then they put it in, freeze it in carbonite like Han Solo in Star Wars, and they put it under the ground. Obviously. What else would you do with stuff that was in the ground to start with? Put it back in the ground. Makes sense. It's something like carbonite, sure. It's like carbonite that you can cook in, I guess. Really? Right?
Well, and then later on in the article, it talks about like metals like arsenic and mercury, along some others, are not to be taken up by the plant. So they can't completely clean up like the entire contaminated site. However, the hyperaccumulators have different and sometimes even completely metal. Like they have preferences for the metal they'll take up.
They know what kind they like.
It makes me question, like, what are people eating when they get sunflowers? Are you getting sunflowers that like are pulling up contaminants?
Well, theoretically, yes, because the entire planet is polluted. So no matter where they grow, there's going to be some kind of contaminants and some kind of metals and things, heavy metals that they're extracting because they're hyperaccumulators by definition. So, yeah, I used to eat lots and lots of sunflower seeds, like they were like that. What was for snacking always?
Yeah,
for years.
You did.
And clearly that's why I'm so metal. So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that's why Steve's so metal. Sunflower seeds.
Well, then they're making sunflower oil and stuff too. And
yeah.
You know,
which all those oils, every kind of oil, basically, every kind of seed oil is carcinogenic to humans. Yep. On some level. You know that? Like it can literally give you liver disease and kidney disease. Like that's nice. And everybody loves fried food. So like all the oils that they cook stuff in, let's just call those poison.
Yeah.
Delicious.
So despite these issues, there still remains massive potential to use sunflowers effectively for what is that word, Steve?
Phytoremediation. Vegan says, when I played softball, I ate sunflower seeds like it was the only thing that gave me life. H2O, O2, and sunflower seeds. I hear you. I hear you, girlfriend. That's the kind of sunflower snacking I'm doing. But not anymore. I gave them up. Like, I don't know. I guess I needed them while I was quitting smoking cigarettes for a little while. And then I quit them too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a quitter. Nobody likes a quitter, Steve.
But you haven't quit guitar. That's why you shouldn't quit.
Little says Steve is so metal, he has metal studs on his underwear band.
Oh my God.
I'm so metal, I don't have any underwear.
What? But So, I mean, this is something to think about. You know, like it's not the perfect solution, right? But I think that, you know, Mother Nature really does, you know, everything that we need is already on this planet. We need to look at what's here and, you know, what we can do now.
Yeah, I agree.
What's up, Everett?
What's up, Everett? You still fighting with Sweetie Cat?
He's staring at me.
Yeah. He's like, why aren't you guys eating fish tonight?
Yeah. What the hell? This is like I got a pop-up thing and it won't go away. Okay. We have to hit that.
Hopefully our stream quality is better this evening than it has been.
Yeah, we figured out some kinks and well
It's weird, but
yeah.
I figured it out.
Yeah, we got it figured out, I think.
I think I figured it out. You guys tell me. Does it seem steadier than it has been?
Okay. Yeah. Come here. Everett. Come here. Come on, jump up.
He's like, I don't do jump up.
Yes, he does.
It's like I jump up when I feel like it.
So here's something that I thought is going to be right up your alley, Steve.
No, these are not the two Road to Ruin. These are the barbarian ones.
Oh, whatever.
I like them too. What was it? It was going to be up my alley.
What you were talking about.
Well, hell yeah, because I didn't mention it before. Mr. Paul Stamets. He's a fucking genius. And also just a treasure of a dude. If you ever listen to any of his podcasts, he's fucking smart and he knows about mushrooms. Ecologists use mushrooms to detoxify soil and water after wildfires. Wildfires.
So this is from Food Tank.
You just got to swell it up a little bit, mama. If you swellify it, I can read it.
I'm scanning it up.
I see.
So I thought this was really interesting. You know, because we have it's not just toxic waste and toxic soil and contamination from all these like train derailments that are happening. You know, like there's more than that, right? We have the wildfire season that happens.
There's more.
Yeah. And you know what they use to the firefighters, what they use, and the chemicals that are involved with what they use to put out fires. The contamination it's across the board, and it's like everywhere. So I was like, well, what else are they using, and what other like forever chemicals are they like? So I came across this, and I thought this was like really cool and interesting.
In the wake of California's worst ever wildfire season, researchers are exploring how mushrooms can help detoxify polluted soil and water. Scientists and volunteers at Co-Renewal, a nonprofit dedicated to ecological restoration, are conducting the experiment in burn zones along high-risk waterways in Northern California. Burned and melted plastics, metals, electronics, and building materials leave behind toxic ash, which then washes into water systems. For instance, in the months following the Tubbs fire in 2017 and Camp Fire in 2018, authorities found toxic levels of benzene, a cancer-causing chemical, in local drinking water. Researchers recorded benzene levels at 40,000 parts per billion and 2217 parts per billion, respectively, Just 22 parts per billion is considered dangerous for short-term exposure. Yikes. Following the 2020 wildfire season, Co-Renewal is researching how fungi can filter and break down these toxins. A process called mycoremediation. Hey, I recognize that. Mycoremediations. First, the team constructs wattles. Oh, this is fun. Everybody say mycoremediation with me. Ready? Mycoremediation. First, the team constructs wattles. Everybody say wattles with me. Wattles. Or straw tubes inoculated with oyster mushrooms, and then places them on the banks of the waterway. The idea is that the wattles will physically prevent erosion, while the mushrooms inside them will absorb the biodegraded toxins. Researcher will control waffles with inoculated waffles. Wattles? Waffle? Did I say wattles or waffles? Control wattles with inoculated wattles to collect baseline data. It is. This entire stream is about how amazing plants are. By using nature-based systems, we are working with ancient mechanisms that nature has been using for millions of years to keep and help restore balance to our ecosystems. Duh. Taylor Bright, a researcher at Co-Renewal, tells Food Tank Bright also serves as secretary and researcher at Bay Area Applied Mycology, an adjacent research-based organization. Bright explains that fungi break down complex chemicals into smaller non-toxic molecules like carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Mushrooms can also absorb heavy metals, but because heavy metals cannot be further broken down, metal-laden mushrooms must be disposed as toxic waste at toxic waste facilities, where they must be incinerated, then their ash disposed of.
Yeah,
where are they putting it?
Exactly. It's still the same thing, so it's like,
It's
where does it go from there?
You can get it out of the ground, but then what are you doing with it? You're going to bury it in some fucking carbonite under the ground? Right. Okay, so it says this is not the first time scientists have used mycoremediation during wildfire cleanup after Tubbs, Nuns, and pocket fires in 2017. The Fire Remediation Action Coalition deployed more than 56 miles of wattles across Sonoma County, most inoculated with mushrooms. And following a 2018 campfire, a mushroom farmer who lost his property to the blaze, Chudy, founded the nonprofit Butte Remediation to provide his neighbors with no-cost mycoremediation services. Chudy is now working alongside Co-Renewal. Mycoremediation has also proven successful in other applications. In 2019, the Lands Council reduced polychlorinated biphenyl levels in Washington's Spokane River by 46% using local fungi and bacteria. Mushrooms have been found on the site of the Chernobyl nuclear meltdown in Ukraine, where scientists believe they have absorbed radiation. We hope that through our findings, we can help the public sphere become more familiar with mycoremediation and encourage curiosity and acceptance of bioremediation ideologies, Bright tells Food Tank. The Co-Renewal team recognizes that the wildfires will be a reality in California for the foreseeable future. They hope that bioremediation practices, if proven to be effective, will one day be adopted by organizations like the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the EPA. Mycoremediation as a field of study and scientific inquiry has come a long way in the past century, and yet is still in its infancy when compared to its far-reaching possibilities, Bright tells Food Tank.
So I'm like, all right. So again, they're using these things, but this isn't like on the news. It's not well known. Like it's really, this is like, I feel like there's so many people that need jobs and that would like love to do a job like this, like going out and actually being like, all right, well, I'll learn how to plant these mushrooms,
Yeah.
because they'll help the environment. And what a great thing. I'm helping, the planet. And,
I think Yipper might be confused. You
Why?
said, so hemp and mushrooms were Chernobyl? No. No, but they were used there. Yes. They were used to help clean up that area.
And sunflowers.
It says, Bela says, when I was young, they used to spray waste oil on the dirt at the horse farm to keep the dust down. Full of PCBs, and we were used to playing it. Yep. And that's why, among other reasons, why, 1 in 3 people will, likely be treated for some sort of cancer by the time they're fucking 35
Oh yeah.
in this country. Pretty sure that's the statistic. It used to be like 1 in 10, and now I think it's 3
It was bigger numbers than
3 in
that.
10.
Yeah.
3 in 10 right now is the estimate.
It's crazy. How
So
many people?
they've almost done it. They've almost made forever customers with their forever chemicals out of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost there.
If you don't see that it's all connected, it is all connected. All the money for this stuff is all connected. The people that are doing it are all connected to each other in some way. It's one like big like spider web, and we're the bugs flying around. They're just waiting to catch us and kill us.
We're the fucking gnats.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are the gnats to them, and if it comes down to it in nature, and they are the spiders, and they have the webs, and they have different webs that we can be caught in, and we go about our time until we're caught in a web, and they take us. I mean, like that's just really how it feels.
Yes.
Salty? How will we not pay for it? That's what I say. And the government just adds zeros anyway, so they can just add some zeros. And
Hell yeah! I remember people using gas as markings on sports fields as a kid. Like all these chemicals have been used like flagrantly. Like I was just saying, like the fact that we all eat it, we eat these things, like you know what I mean. Like it's in our food, it's in everything. All of the
our
things.
Air, our food, our water, our medicine has all been poisoned.
Yep. Fungi are great for remediating pretty much anything that you need. Like when they had the Gulf oil spill, and it was like just crazy crude oil off the coast of Alabama and fucking Louisiana, and Paul Stamets went down there and fucking inoculated these islands. And you go back there like a month later and there's grass and flowers growing and shit. Everything else is black around it. Like, what the fuck, man? Why isn't this the practice when this happens? Why don't they just do that? You know what I mean? It's crazy to me that they don't do it.
And then what's the next thing that you would think of that could clean up forever chemicals and toxins from our soil? I mean, we know what's happening with the bees, right? Like they're going extinct, and if we not keep the bees, then we're not going to have food.
We go extinct.
It's all connected. We need to make sure that we are paying attention and that we know like what to do. Because you know what? If the grid goes down, if everything goes to shit tomorrow, are you ready to grow? Do you have a seed bank? Because that's going to be worth a lot more than those dollar bills. If they aren't worth anything. If the grid went down, what's going to be valuable? Knowledge, seeds, medical supplies, the essentials, those things. That is what is going to be worth more. The dollar bills are not going to be anything. So please fill your mind with as much knowledge as you can and know what to do.
Get some skills. Learn
Be
how to
prepared.
Learn how to
Yeah.
work on shit. Fix
What
some
can
shit.
you barter? Do you know how to work on vehicles? Like what is it that you know how to do?
I think ultimately plant a garden. Just plant a garden.
Yeah. Even if you're in an apartment, have a plant.
Life is a garden. Dig it, man.
Pay attention to the plant. So when I was a kid, I was always in the dirt. Always in the dirt. I remember like being a little girl, like 3 years old, and I would be like crouched down right where the pavement ended in my grandma's little backyard, and of her apartment. I remember it was like a little fenced in little back area that she had. And I would sit there with a spoon and I would dig in the dirt. And I would dig up what I called bloodsuckers. Grubs. The grubs are bloodsuckers. They always have been. They always will be. They are bloodsuckers. And I didn't do anything to them. I didn't hurt them. I didn't, I just dug them up and put them in a pile. Like I remember doing it very distinctly, like probably wearing a little dress too, oh my gosh.
Adorable.
Yeah. And my favorite bugs were the little pill bugs, the roly-polies. I have always loved roly-polies.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The birds flew by later and we're like, whoa, bloodsuckers.
They're like, lucky left us a treat. So did you guys like potato bugs? Like if you go flip over any rock in a garden or anywhere, like
potato bugs are pill bugs, right? Isn't that the same kind of bug that Snow was talking about?
Yeah, they're
they
pill.
Eat styrofoam and stuff.
They're pill bugs.
Yeah.
They're the cleaners of the garden.
Cleaners. They're like that little crab guy on SpongeBob or on Finding Nemo that like cleans everybody. Little French guys spins you around.
So these little guys are awesome bugs. And this is from plantersplace.com.
Bugs and drugs. You know where to come, Norman. The best in bugs and drugs. Can you make it just a bloop it up just a little smidgen bigger? Pill bugs.
Hang on.
The cleanup crew in action.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the chat thing is fucking sketchy and weird and cool at the same time. I hate it, but I like it too. It's too smart already.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I went there. I didn't know what to really ask it though.
Okay, stop right there. That's perfect. I recently read a headline touting that pill bugs can clean up heavy metals in soil, which caught my eye since heavy metals from mining or smelter waste are a distinct problem in Montana. Yeah, because they be smelting shit up there in Montana's. And mining the dental floss. As beautiful as this county is, in many places it is scarred by former practices of industries that didn't know or care about the long-term effects. As a result, there are entire neighborhoods who have their soil removed because it's pretty much toxic. So you can see why I perked up with the possibility that these little critters can help the situation. Unfortunately, as of yet, I can't find sound scientific evidence to back up the claim, however. I'm going to keep hoping to see if there's anything to it. The benefits of pill bugs, I will tell you that having pill bugs and their cousin, the sow bugs, so they're not so bad, they're just bugs. Aren't bad things to have in your garden. For the most part, they feed on decaying matter, turning into something useful for your plants. To begin, let's talk about the difference between pill bugs, also called roly-polies.
Roly-polies!
Roly-poly! Roly-poly!
I feel like we need a song about roly-polies.
There is, but it's called woolly-bully.
No, we need our own song
and
about roly-polies.
I like the sow bug. Are they sow bugs or are they sow bugs? So you a bug? Sow. It's pronounced sow, asshole. Neither one of them are insects. Now the truth comes out. Instead of being part of the crustacean family, they're little tiny land lamsters. I love the scientific name for pill bugs. Aradiolilium vulgar. Oh, they are so vulgar. It is so much about their tendency to curl into a tight ball while they're threatened. Sow bugs are Poracilio lyris. I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly. While they're two different species, and sow bugs are distinct because they don't curl up in a ball and their legs stick out. They're not really pill bugs at all, are they? Their behavior is pretty much the same. And the great thing is neither one bites, so they're perfect for the kids to handle. If you're thinking about getting your kids some bugs, think about a sow bug or a roly-poly. Even more uses. When the boys look for pill bugs, they tip over rocks and dig in the deep mulch in the garden. It doesn't usually take long to root up a mess of them. Although we typically don't see them in action, pill bugs are nocturnal creatures. They come out of their hiding place in the night to feed upon the decaying matter in the soil. Sometimes they will chew on the roots or parts of the plant at soil level. I've had that happen in a greenhouse, and I used diatomaceous earth around the plants to protect them. But for the most part, the pill bugs have plenty to handle, especially if you add organic matter to the soil regularly. While they have an almost indestructible appearance with their armor-like shell, the worst time for pill bugs is when it's hot and dry. During a situation like this, if they can hunker down in the cracks in the soil or hidden spaces where they can often weather the dry spell. But if they can't find a suitable environment, it might just mean the end of them. Oh, it's sad. Pill bugs are an important part of the ecosystem of the garden. While they're not fancy and frankly look downright prehistoric, they're the diligent workers who take care of what needs to be done at ground level. Shout out to the roly-polies. What?
Yeah, I know. I just think that they're awesome little bugs, and I appreciate them. And they clean up. They're the cleanup crew.
We see you, roly-poly.
So next time you see a roly-poly, remember.
Tell them, good looking out, dog.
They're not really bugs. They're prehistoric
That's
little
right,
dudes.
they're little lobsters, man. They're little tiny land lobsters.
Yeah. I think they're really cool. I like the roly-poly.
Roly-poly was eating my cabbage plants. That's because cabbages are so juicy. Cabbage got all that water in them.
And here's I have an up close picture of one. You want to see it?
Give us the roly-poly. The Massus earth, or whatever it's called, is
Diatomaceous.
Diatomaceous.
We use it.
Yep. It works on most bugs.
People use it on their chickens.
Not all the bugs.
They put it in their chicken coops.
Because it kills other things like fleas and stuff.
Yep.
So that's a good thing. You know when you get diatomaceous earth, you just like call up Lady Alex and she'll just go dig in her backyard and give you a whole bunch. Because that's the kind of dirt they got out there around Sedona's.
They wouldn't have roly-polies then.
Well, you just got to go to what do you call it, Burning Man. You get yourself some diatomaceous earth. I don't know. You got to get your roly-polies in the wet dirt. They said under the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have the. I've not seen the pictures of children with roaches as pets. I have seen people with palmetto bugs that look identical to roaches as pets. That might be what you're thinking of.
Skyla has bugs.
What?
Skyla has bugs
Skyla
that
has bugs.
like are in like
Nothing
little
to do with the
terrariums,
accident either.
and she has jumping spiders and things like that. Like she wants to study bugs.
Diatomaceous. Thank you, Ricky. That's helpful. Diatomaceous.
We have some under our kitchen sink.
Matrix. Oh, it's the Matrix Earth. That's why. I get it. Makes perfect sense. Palmetto runs like the cockroach. Yes, it's very similar looking.
But the potato, but these are, I used to call them potato bugs too.
Potato bugs.
I used to have rats as pets.
I've
Yes,
had
she has
hamsters.
spiders, jumping spiders. They're little, tiny little things. Like they're like the size of these googly eyes, smaller.
Yeah. Doesn't like one of them kind of spiders have a huge TikTok following or something?
Yeah, there's an animation for I think it's Lucas. Is it called Lucas? The spider.
I heard that's actually where Little came from the Lucas camp.
I thought no, Little is an
the spider.
Ewok.
No, that's part of his cover.
Little's an Ewok. Different shit at Burning Man. You don't know. It's different shit.
Different shit, bro. Jeff Ryan.
So this is from Green Living, a practical journal, or it's a journal for mindful living. And they had a cool thing about. I call them roly polies. I also call them potato bugs, probably because, like, you know, they you know, if you ever have those potatoes that, you know, like you get a bad one or whatever, you put it out there, they'll eat it up for you.
See, Little just said Lucas the spider is dope, so I know that's part of the thing, part of his mystique.
So they have a study that found that roly polies remove heavy metals from soil and protects groundwater.
Cause I'm TNT. I'm dynamite.
So how amazing is that? These little bugs,
who you calling little,
are doing the work of what, you know, to keep us safe.
You know what's fascinating about bugs like that?
Like we benefit from these little guys.
Yeah,
we
benefit from a lot of.
We need to realize that we're all the connections that are there, though, like down to these little guys. When people use chemicals and stuff like that in the soil,
You're affecting my little buddies.
you're affecting the roly polies.
Don't be affecting my hey.
You're affecting the bees.
You treat my roly polies,
which
all
in
wrong.
turn, you know, we are all connected. We are all part of this planet.
Hey, you're coming at my roly polies all wrong.
Yeah. I want to give some props to roly polies.
I'm feeling your roly poly love tonight.
I am. I really am. I'm really like I really feel like they don't get enough.
Let your roly poly love light shine, mama.
They're such cute little things. They're like little armadillos.
I think they're more like the what is it? Pangolin?
The pangolin?
Pangolin.
Yeah.
That little son of a bitch is like one of them. He's got the pangolin outfit on. You know, the roly poly is like rocking the pangolin fucking armor. He's a straight up G. Steve's hitting the peg leg. I can hear it. Arr, avast ye mateys.
So turn over a brick or a board laying in the yard, and underneath you may find a collection of pill bugs scurrying about.
Pill bugs.
Also known as roly polies or wood lice.
Ooh, don't say wood lice. That's gross.
These great color creatures could be found in many dark, moist environments.
Moist.
Feeding on decaying matter.
Bugs in the same sentence.
And actually, these critters are not bugs at all. They're crustaceans.
Crustaceans and more closely resemble crabs and shrimp, not insects. They're characterized by their ability to roll up into a ball when they feel threatened. I might be part crustacean myself.
Is that what you do?
Sometimes.
Steve feels threatened. He just curls up into a ball.
How intense the encounter is at the DMV. Whether or not I curl up into a ball or not.
At the DMV.
Or, you know, wherever. The police station.
I'm sure that everybody's wanted to curl up into a ball at one point at the DMV.
Yeah, they're crustaceans. Breeding or collecting pill bugs may be an important practice for homesteading and gardening. If you're going to start a homestead, you might want to get yourself some pill bugs, man. The guts of these pill bugs contain a number of microbes. Whoa, we do too. That help the critter feed on dead organic matter. By releasing mass quantities of pill bugs into a mature garden, one can be assured that dead plant matter is being properly broken down and returned to healthy soil. Pill bugs play an important role in the cycle of a healthy plant life. They return organic matter to the soil so it can be digested further by fungi, protozoans, and bacteria. The process produces a natural supply of nitrates, phosphates, and other vital nutrients that plants need to thrive now and in the future growing seasons. One very unique feature of these crustaceans is their ability to safely remove heavy metals from soil. For this reason, they're important for cleaning up soil pollutants such as lead, cadmium, arsenic, yada yada yada, all the shit, the garbage, the coal spoils and slag heaps. Pill bugs also come in handy when you're trying to clean up that shit. When they take in heavy metals like lead and cadmium, they crystallize these ions in their guts. They're not fucking round. Like, we're crystallizing ions, bitch.
I know. Like these little bugs, these little roly polies that all the kids play with. These little guys are magical.
They're not even playing. They're like, yeah, we'll turn it into a crystal. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what they do. They turn them into crystals, and these idiots are freezing stuff in carbonite. Come on, what is going on? The heavy metal toxins become spherical deposits in the mid-gut. With this special cleanup capability, pill bugs survive in most contaminated sites where most creatures can't. The magic of the pill bugs can reestablish healthy soil and prevent toxic metal ions from leaching into the groundwater. This means pill bugs are protecting well water from becoming contaminated while stabilizing soils.
Isn't that amazing?
They're pretty badass, man. They're not screwing around.
These little bugs that when I was a little girl, I used to, I loved, like, I always loved the little potato bugs. That's what I called them. They look like little potatoes too. And they like to eat potatoes.
That's right, officer. This is not my crack. My microbes love it. I use it to energize my pill bugs. Okay, I have a lot of cleaning to do.
So I just think that it's pretty amazing. These guys are pretty amazing. They're the cleaners, so we know that sunflowers help, the hemp plant helps, like mushrooms help with all this cleaning, and they use it in all these toxic waste sites and all this PFAS.
Yeah.
So we know that, all of this is working, all of these different things individually. What about if they're, done together?
Pill bugs are nature's Roomba. That's true. They're tiny little Roombas just eating up stuff. And not only that, because they literally turn the gnarly stuff into crystals in their bellies. They're like little magic friggin' crystal making friggin' things, like what? What in the hell? Now I gotta talk someone into smoking some and see what happens, Salty said.
Wait, what?
No, only smoke the crystal bar, Salty, man. Don't smoke the whole pill bug. And my cousin smoked the whole pill bug, man. He ain't been right since.
Oh my God.
I thought you said smoke it through the Roomba.
No.
He said he had a peg leg filled up with pill bugs.
There's some pill bug love, okay? Some pill bug love. And, well, it's amazing when you take a step back, and these are just a couple of things in nature that I found.
Pill bug love.
Now, what if we actually start using all these things in sync together to, you know what I mean, with the people?
A little symbiotic stuff going on with some multiple levels of approach and action. We could theoretically unpollute some polluted shit. Maybe It depends on what we feed the pill bugs. I think. Have you considered the idea that we could maybe hop up the pill bugs a little bit with a little crank or something, or a little methamphetamine, get pep them up, and
I don't
get
think
them
that
to
they
do
need
more
any
coverage.
No.
No.
You don't mess with Mother Nature. Mother Nature has her cleaners. We
I'm
just
just
have to
saying.
use them.
It worked for the Nazis.
So this is an official like government site. The USGS, the Science and Changing World, pesticides in groundwater. Huh. Water Science School, June 8th, 2018.
Says, which end do you like?
Do not do anything to the pill bugs.
My name is Steve. I'm addicted to smoking pill bugs.
I don't recommend that. I don't know what that would do. Leave the pill bugs alone. Feed them organic food scraps. They like it.
Speaking of scraps, I was standing outside the laundromat earlier today playing my guitar. Some guy was like, "Hey man, I don't mean to be judgmental, but judging by the van that you're driving there and the fact that you're playing the guitar and singing songs out here and wearing that tie-dye, I'm willing to bet that you smoke weed." And I was like, "Why, yes, I do." And he's like, "Cool." So and he breaks off a chunk of fucking nug and hands it to me. He says, "Keep on singing." And I was like, "Right on." So, I mean, that guy might not even be hip to pill bugs. I wish I would have had this information then. I would have told him about.
I'm sorry, I didn't reveal all my secrets about the pill bugs until
I would have
the
told him
stream.
about the phytoremediations and the microremediations.
I mean, I know it's a lot, but I thought it was a really cool topic.
It is the best tip you can get. Absolutely.
What, to respect the pill bugs?
To respect the pill bugs, and also when people give you weed for playing music, it's the best thing that.
Yeah.
For me, because I mean, I taught myself how to play music while I was smoking weed. Like that was my inspiration for trying to play music in the first place. So when people give me weed to play music, it's kind of just like a whole circle of life thing, singing monkeys and stuff.
No, I don't think you should do anything like that to the pill bugs,
What
Salty.
if you snorted them instead of smoking? I don't know, man. I think you're gonna have to mainline them.
I don't think you want to do that.
You're gonna need a big hypodermic for those son of a bitches. They got a lot of armor on
You
them.
imagine like we get reports like someone's in the hospital because they snorted a pill bug and it's round and it's like, oh, I was threatened.
Yes.
It got threatened and it got stuck in the nose.
Yeah, Bella. No shit. South Fork dairy explosion killed 18,000 cows. That's the most cows that ever fucking exploded or were killed in history. Probably the most that ever exploded, I think. 400 cows was the most.
So we just had that manufactured egg crisis.
Yeah.
Where they didn't actually, they found there was nothing wrong.
18,000?
And then the explosion 18,000. Well, besides like what happened with East Palestine and like all this other stuff that's been going on in like this cow explosion, and I'm seeing all these fires happening, and that's what like prompted me to think about, well, what the hell can we do? Is there any solution to what we can do as a whole, as a people? Is there anything that we can do to come together to, with Mother Nature on our side to combat this? That's where my brain went to, and why this stream came about is because I'm like, what can we do? We need to have solutions to all this toxicity that's going out. Potato bugs, tater bugs, or pill bugs, or roly-polies are the answer. Not the only answer. You know, like we as humans are causing our own extinction, and we're so smart that we just can't even. We're so blind that we, like we're smart but so blind at the same time that we can't even see that that's what we're doing to ourselves. Like we're doing this to ourselves. And if we don't start having like real conversation and the truth about what's happening, then we're going to self extinct. That's just I don't see a different way out of that. Little wants to know if we can call in terrorist cow threats now. I don't know.
I'm not sure how that would move.
I mean, those poor cows and how they live too. Can we how those cows lived? Is as shocking as how they died?
Yeah, they were all like.
You're talking to the floor, Steve. So.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Well, exploding cows is not weird at all. 18,000 cows blew up in a dairy farm. It's not weird.
Yeah, it was a huge fire.
It's not fun. It's not weird at all that there was a huge fire at a dairy farm. Have you seen a dairy farm before?
And then what we need to remember is that the commercial pesticide applicators, farmers, and homeowners apply about 1 billion pounds of pesticide annually to agricultural land, non-crop land, and urban areas throughout the United States. The use of pesticides has helped to make the United States the largest producer of food in the world and has provided other benefits, but has also been accompanied by concerns about the potential adverse effects on the environment and human health. So, like, at what point is it beneficial to use these contaminants, to use this? And so this right here, that there was a good imagery that I wanted to use because I wanted to show this about how, like, it's just, it all cycles. It's all connected. It goes right back through.
Be careful. Little has 3 cows and he will blow us up. He says, I'll have 3 cows and I'll send us over the moon. Don't push me. 3 cows and 6 potato bugs were killed this morning.
So pesticides are transported to the atmosphere during and after the application, right? And then there's regional transport. The atmosphere is often overlooked as a source of pesticides, which return to Earth with precipitation and dry depositation and can reach streams and groundwater. So people do they just think that it just goes away? I don't know. I don't know how this isn't, the focus. Streams are particularly vulnerable to pesticide contamination because runoff in agricultural and urban area flows directly into streams, along with both dissolved particle associated pesticides. And then the groundwater is an important source of pesticides to some streams during low flow periods when groundwater can be a major portion of a stream flow. So this just shows that this is the cycle. And then this is why they're forever chemicals. They don't go away. These pesticides we are getting food, quote unquote, that's full of these that are not good for us, that causes cancer.
Is this what they were talking about when they were talking about the cows coming home, or the chickens are coming home to roost, or some? I forget the metaphor. Damn it! I forget my cliche. Somebody help me.
So I thought it had some good illustrations that are, just showing what's happening with the soil, with everything, and we need to be paying attention to this. We need to be paying attention to the fact that this is all connected, that we are not going to survive without the smallest of bugs.
That's right. Alternate topic. Speaking of good times, awesome show, JJ Walker. Shout out. Thank you.
What?
Sorry, I just took it back to 1976. Good times. Everybody talking about dynamite. You know what I'm saying?
So I just really wanted to, do a show to cover this kind of, this kind of topic in this way, because I feel like, there's some bigger pictures that are being missed here. We need to take a step back and realize that we're connected to all of this. The only way we're going to get out of this is figuring out what does work and what doesn't work and how, because it's not working what we're doing right
The
now.
only way you get out of this planet is through the belly of the potato bug. You get crystallized.
No,
You get crystallized in the belly of a roly-poly.
I don't think that that's true.
That's just like a really obscure Hindu belief,
I don't. This isn't like
the double H Hindus, it's very secular. They believe in the holy order of the potato bugs.
Salty. Hit me up on Twitter. Let's talk about it. Send me some links so I can. I need to know where to start to really be able to dive into that. The magnetic field dropping.
Make sure everybody stares directly into the sun for 35 to 40 minutes a day.
No.
It's the only way you're going to get past the magnetic drop off. That's what Salty told me. The only way.
You better say that again.
The only way you can augment the natural effects of the magnetic field dropping is by staring at the sun directly for 35 or 45 minutes every day. Directly 45 minutes before sundown. And then when you stagger back to your car because you can't see and your retinas are burned, you will know the darkness of the roly-poly. And you will be a potato bug brother.
Hey, Neville, what are you doing?
He's trying to scratch at things. He's like, can I get in here? I don't even think about it, but my little torch lighter must be just like the whole time we're doing the fucking podcast. Everybody thinks I'm smoking out of a hollowed out leg. It's cool. I wish I was, because I would make sure to have a camera around for that. Because that would just be fair.
This is Neville the Devil.
Neville the Devil.
He's a very old guy.
He's a weasel.
Yes.
Ghost Art said the toxic plume has reached my area.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, I tried to hold it in, bro. But
so the moral of tonight's stream.
the moral of the stream. Tell us, moral oral.
Is everything is connected.
Yeah, it's all connected. That's the song right there. It goes with it. Potato bugs, they keep you connected. Potato bugs, the photometer.
They're really important. They're important little guys.
Photo remediation.
Oh my god.
Micro remediation. Hey. Oh. All right. The moon eclipse on Sunday average every 19 years, but this was Western Australia 1980. Not since seen it since I got back to Europe 40 years ago. Should I apply for a vice now? If you think a vice will keep your head still enough to see the eclipse, Norman, absolutely. I don't know what that means, but I'm trying to be encouraging. I know a woman who wore a live ferret stool. Are you sure that wasn't Lucky, Gray Walker? Let's see. The number one greatest chance we have to avoid complete loss of our biosphere is to stop war. Yeah, good point. Shout out all you fucking douchebag warhawks and use the incredible investment we have collectively in the world, military apparatus, etc.
I mean, can you imagine
yes.
what we could do if we decided, like, okay, we're not focused on war anymore. We want peace. We want to have a utopia. Can you imagine?
Yeah, the utopia thing I think is completely fucking.
I mean, we will never. I don't think we'll ever have
unattainable.
perfection.
But I think
But I
combining
think-
that military stuff.
Yeah, I think that we really could decide as a society to say, all right, you know what? This is more important that we have somewhere to live.
I think Little just turned into a porn bot. I'm not sure. Offering the hottest Marxist moments.
Oh, you sent it to me? Okay, awesome. You'll get me started down a rabbit hole.
That's right.
I like rabbit holes.
Thank you, super chatter people.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like,
guys
thank you for everybody who's
commemorated our-
helping us
Yeah,
with super chats. We're gonna bring them up.
and our fucking Patreon.
Yeah, and everybody who
OGs.
helps with our Patreon and
The only
supports
reason
us.
we're able to do it is because of you people. So
Yeah,
you.
literally, like, if you guys didn't help, we wouldn't be able to do it because we had to pay for the different services to do the stream merits. So we got Snow Leopard, who came in with the first super chat. And then Angela. And then John Kemper. Wow, you guys are amazing. Like, really.
We thank you.
And we got a Steve Wolfberger. I called him Wolfberger, not Wolf Dude.
Oh my God. It's to the potato bugs with you.
And Oz Wizzle sent us some Australian money. I wonder what that is here.
I don't know.
How do they, I wonder how they like convert that.
I think it's like Mexican. It's the same. It's like dinero. You know, like Robert De Niro.
And then Applejack came in and said, all my prayers to Skyla. Oh.
Applejack is a sweet guy. Don't let him bullshit you. Because he'll try.
And then Applejack came in with another super chat. And then Applejack came in with another super chat.
Because he is not to be outdone with the super chatters.
And another super chat.
Pesos, that's right. Dineros, pesos, whatever. Oh, wow. Bella says Aussie money is beer. Fuck yeah. That sounds like a fair trade.
Well, thank you guys all so much. Please make sure that you hit the like button if you didn't. If you're watching later on. Oh, I know that you're probably like, oh, why do all these people always say hit the like button? It does help with the algorithm, though. It really does.
It really do.
They're like, you have to do extra things to like really prove that you meant to watch this stream. It's like just watching, it's not enough.
one Queensland quadruple X is equal to a Foster's. I don't know if Aussie's paying Foster's, but you know, I could be made to drink a Foster's if I had to. I want to get sponsored by the Two Roads Brewery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where they're located. Where are they located? Two Roads Brewing Company, Stratford, Connecticut. Shout out Stratford, Connecticut, right down the fucking road. Hello, Two Roads, big supporter over here. Coming for you. All right, everybody, write those letters to the Two Roads Brewery. Tell Steve to get the big cans, put them on the thing. Aussie money is called the Fosters. Oh, see, you're trying to confuse us. We don't know anything about those customs. They're like thousands of miles away. They're like 10,000 miles away from us. I don't understand what they're saying most of the time.
What?
Crikey. Have a look at this one, eh?
What are we even
Got a
talking
bit of
about?
filth on your own super, eh? What? What did you just say to me? Who are you calling Fosters? Oh, we had a bad time. I know that's like the best of my Australian right there. One shot. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We'll add all of the notes down in the description of the show. And if you want to check things out further, let us know if you're, if you're growing stuff, if you played with potato bugs as a kid.
Yeah, send us dirty letters about playing with potato bugs as a kid.
No, not
Drinking Fosters.
No, I just think it would be interesting.
It's going to be quality content, really. We will convert it directly from the letter into some quality commentary. That's what I'm trying to do here. I don't know if you guys have been following me on the TikTok, but I urge you all to follow Steve Cutler Live _ on TikTok, because I'm gonna start putting out content. I'm just gonna start ranting like a fucking raving crazy person about things that bother me, and music, like, play songs that don't bother me as much, but I like to play, and then you can make up your mind. You can be like, he's an asshole. His perspective is all fucked up, but I like how he sings. Or, he can't sing to save his life, but his news reporting is fantastic. Those are your two choices. So make a choice and get on board. Right?
If you have a funny article, satire or not, that you think Steve might want to cover, you can always send it over too.
Yeah. You definitely should. And, follow me on Instagram too, because I put a bunch of them up on there as well. But I'm really trying to blow up that TikTok thing, man. I need to get to 1,000 so I can rant in real time at people and for things and reasons and play songs and, do it from wherever I am. That's the coolest thing to me is like, oh, you can just TikTok wherever the fuck you are. All right, let's go. Because that'll be fun.
All right.
What is that guy doing in the wood? I think he's TikToking, Bob.
And you can check out all of the merchandise on luckyburrito.indiemade.com. I have so much stuff on there that I made. Like, please help me get through some inventory. Please.
It's TikTok is awesome, little, except for they read your mind. If you go on there and you look at a thing, whatever the thing is, say you see some attractive young lady with large balloons or something, and you're like, oh, TikTok goes, oh, you like ladies with large balloons? We got ladies with large balloons, and they give you 8,000 ladies with large balloons, and pretty soon that's all you see. So you have to be super selective. You have to go back and be like, no, that's not, I don't want that. I want this. I'm going to look at these things. And then you just got to search, do as many varied searches as possible. That's what's fixed my my timeline on the TikTok, because I was just getting, like weird people that think they can do telekinesis through the TikTok and try to send you special skills and spells and wish money on you and good fortune and whatever. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, they're gypsies or something, but like only on TikTok, I guess. And they do these hand things, like all these gestures. Do the hand gestures. Do them so they can see. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's like
I don't know what they do.
and they do the things like
My
that.
TikTok doesn't look like that.
Yeah, but it's very much like that. If it was more centered, you would be one of those TikTok people. You could do it. You would like, send me $8,000 and I will send you good fortune for a fortnight. And like, if you talk weird like that, like, I don't know, there's like weird gamer people on there and stuff. It's fucking strange place. But I hope to get 1,000 subscribers so I can just stream and take full advantage of it before the government says it's illegal.
Meat butter.
Meat butter.
If they pass that Restrict Act, the TikTok is going to be the
Explosive.
least of your freaking worries.
Explosive new meat milk to hit the market soon. Vitamin fortified meat milk.
Miguel, we can do super chats.
Miguel, we are super chatting. God damn it.
See?
They said we couldn't do it. They said we'd never make it. They said you'll never get 1,000 subscribers. YouTube will shut you off and bury you in the backyard before you get to do any of that. Ha ha! I'm not really confident at all that it will last, but it's fun while it is.
Yeah, Grey Walker, I agree. Everybody that's on the Restrict Act, absolutely. Like, I just think we need to start over.
I have to apologize to Oz Whistles for doing all that Australian. That was really bad. He's laughing, but
oh. All right. Well, thank you guys all so much. Thank you all so much for your super chats and for all your support and sharing and going over to our Indie Made store and everybody for sharing that. Like, yeah, we couldn't do it without you guys. Without you guys' help.
We couldn't do it without 99 per left balloons. Thank you, everybody.
Oz Whistles liked it. He was.
I know he's a good sport. I would like to hang out with Oz and just talk at length, so I could just like absorb his accent, so I could do it on demand. Because that's what happens. I spent a lot of time in jail with West Indian people, and I end up.
You just said that like you're in jail all the time or something, or you've been there recently. Like, what are you even talking about?
I don't know. I'm just talking about how I have a thing where if I stay around people, I ended up talking like those people or being able to adopt and parrot their accents.
I know, but you said about jail, and I'm like, what's?
I don't have any problems telling people I was in jail.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
I know.
Like, you said it like it was like recently.
Well, last week while I was in jail, I was hanging out with these nice Rastafarian boys, and they taught me to speak the Queen's English and Turas. Boom, claude, why?
Okay.
Oh my God, my accent just got absorbed. Now no one will know where I'm from anymore. That's the thing. You assimilate. You're now Borg.
All right, it's time to get Steve off the thing.
Norman's hovercraft is full of eels.
What?
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know what's happening, but you guys are fantastic.
Much love, people.
Thank you guys all for
coming
and hanging out with us.
Where's
Leo?
We'll see you on the Sundays and maybe
Leo
in between there. I don't know.
Is he in his basket?
No.
Leo.
There he is. TV again. Oh, Leo, you're such a prima donna. Such a diva. Look at him. It's like, Mom, why? I was sleeping. You woke me up for this shit? Again with the TV? Oh, look at those ears. He's a magpie. Magpie. Leo.
All right, everybody have a great night.
Okay, we love you. Good night. I